I can read, you can read. I can understand, you can understand. From where I came from, a few simple things I did and tried, revolutionized my life in 5 years. There isn't anybody here that can't do it. Change from pennies to fortune. Change from nothing to something. Change from broke to rich. Anybody in this room can do it. If any of us can do it, we all can do it. That's the kind of value you should place on it. Jim Rohn can understand it, I can understand it. If he can read, I can read. If he can find it, I can find it. If he can change, I can change. If he can get it done, I can get it done. That's the attitude about yourself. So valued, okay? Now, in transforming our lives, we don't start with attitude. We don't start with the inspiration here. We start with education. Somebody says, well, I expected you to just come get motivated today. Well, that probably won't do it. Somebody says, by now we should be standing on the chairs, waving a flag, singing the old gray mare. Get going here. No, that's not where you start. Life change does not start with inspiration. Life change starts with education. You've got to be educated to the point of where you might have messed up. My teacher put it in blunt, simple language. He only went to the 9th grade school, so put it in simple language I could understand. He said, Mr. Rohn, after 6 years living in America, healthy American male, 25 years old, been working 6 years, 1 year of college, pennies in your pocket, nothing in the bank, behind on your promises. Cho said, I just got one simple explanation for that. You've messed up. Now, I could understand that kind of language. Substitute a Hershey bar for an apple means you've messed up. Should walk around the block, could walk around the block, won't walk around the block. You have messed up. And all you got to go is write down through the list. Don't need some teacher to come by and tell you. Be your own best teacher saying, hey, let me make a list of some places I've messed up. Because if I let this down, that probably affects the rest. And the answer is that's true. So we don't start with inspiration, start with education. Somebody says, well, just motivate this guy. He'll be all right. Just motivate him. Get him turned on. Probably not. If a guy's an idiot, you motivate him. Now you got a motivated idiot. No, he won't be all right. So we start with education. What's the first education? If it isn't going well and you live in America, you have messed up. You don't need to change countries. You say, well, the country's messed up. That's like cursing the soil and cursing the seed and the sunshine and the rain, which is all you got. Don't curse all you got. When you get your own planet, you can rearrange this whole deal. But this one, you got to take like it comes. So number 2 is attitude. Here was number 3, activity. This is the work part, the labor part, taking action. The activity is the miracle work piece. Miracle being something we don't quite understand how it works. Doesn't mean it doesn't work. It means we just don't quite understand how it works. Miracles work. God says. Now, I'm an amateur on God, but here's my best analysis. God says, if you'll plant seed, I'll make tree. Now, that's a good arrangement. Number 1, gives God the tough end of the deal. What if you had to make the tree? That'd keep you up late at night trying to figure out, how do you make a tree? Say, no. I'm telling you, the mystery and the miracle of this stuff has already been set up. God says, I got the miracle going. I got the seasons going. I got some sunshine and some rain, and I'm God. But the way I've arranged it, I just need somebody to plant, not chant. California, they're trying to chant to get this stuff done. Forget this California stuff. You don't have to rub a crystal and sleep under a pyramid. Stuff's too easy. Getting rich is too easy. Changing your life is too easy. Forget all that. Massive bombard, affirmation, forget all that, my opinion. Ocean waves and seagulls, come on, this stuff's simple, easy stuff. But if you neglect, that's how it piles up year after, if you're willing to straighten it out. Here's one of the keys, called activity, called discipline. Turning wisdom from your philosophy and inspiration, strengthening of attitude, faith, courage, commitment, all this stuff that comes from attitude. If you're willing to take these 2 qualities, philosophy and attitude, and invest it into activity, you can have a miracle. Anything short of that, no miracle. Wisdom doesn't perform a miracle. Attitude doesn't perform a miracle. The only thing that performs a miracle of increase called equity is called putting wisdom and attitude, discipline, labor. This labor now performing. Here's the 2 parts of the labor. 1, do what you can. Number 2, do the best you can. Give you better advice. Number 1, do what you can. You just got to go home and make a list after today. Here's the question to ask as you make this personal list. What am I not doing that would be easy to do, that could greatly change my health, my wealth? What am I not doing I'm neglecting that would be easy to do? Go home and answer that question personally. You don't have to put the answers on a public bulletin board. They're just all personal. From the walk around the block to the apple to what to do with your money, which we're going to cover today. What does a child do with $1? We're going to cover that today. Errors in judgment, disaster. Few simple disciplines, wealth beyond imagining. And if you'll pick up the activity part, the miracle working part, plant the seed part, take care of your part. Soil will take care of its part. Seed will take care of its part. The seasons will take care of their part. The miracle will take care of its part. If you'll take care of your part, called putting it into activity. Works miracle. 2,000 years ago, on April 13th, one of Jesus' disciples. Now again, I'm an amateur on the Bible. disciple, best as I can remember it, one of Jesus' disciples said to Jesus, "It's time to pay our taxes and we don't have any money." That's how come I know it was about April 13th. To this statement by his disciple, Jesus said, best as I can read the record, Jesus said, "No problem." Now, why could he say no problem? Well, word has it, he was a miracle worker. Word has it, if you're a good student of history, word has it, he was a miracle worker. If you handed a problem to a miracle worker, what would he be inclined to say? No problem. You got to hang out with folks like that. I belong to a small group like that. We do business around the world. You hand these guys a problem, they say no problem. What? How many books would they read to solve it? Many as it takes. How early would they get up? Early as it takes. How much information would they get? As much as they needed. So it's what? No problem. You got to hang out with folks like that. Jesus said this will be no problem, the tax thing. He said to his disciple, it's simple. Go fishing. Wow. Now that was easy for this particular disciple. His name was Peter, and Peter was a fisherman. How clever. How clever. But here's the real problem. If you should fish, and you could fish, and you don't fish, you got no miracle. You could change, you should change, you won't change. That's called accumulated disaster.
And the next day when we were in the truck going back to Liberty City and we pulled down 68th Terrace, the neighbors came out and said, "Whoa, Mamie, y'all coming back? Are you back?" "Yes." "What happened to the home your boy bought for you? Those boys you adopted?" Leslie didn't do a title search. He made a mistake. And boy, I was so humiliated. How many ever made a mistake that you were just humiliated? Raise your hands. I was devastated. I was taking the furniture off the truck and my mother came and I was crying. And she said, "Boy," I said, "Yes, ma'am." She said, "Hold your head up." I said, "Mama, I can't." She said, "Hold your head up." I said, "Why? Look what I've done." She said, "It's okay. It's okay. You are going to make a lot of mistakes in life, young man. You're going to fail your way to success. You have nothing to be ashamed of. Keep your head up and take that furniture back in the house." I said, "Yes, ma'am." And I learned something from that. If you ever go through something, hold your head up. If you ever make a mistake, hold your head up. If you ever do something that everything goes wrong, life catch you on the blind side, hold your head up. It's not over. Goethe says, that which does not kill you will make you stronger. Hold your head up. Shake someone's hand on your right and left and say, hold your head up. Here's something else, ladies and gentlemen. Repeat after me, please. You got to be hungry. Everybody together, you got to be hungry. I'll never forget Mr. Washington said, "Mr. Brown, yes, sir. What do you want to do with your life, young man?" I said, "Sir, I want to be a disc jockey." He said, "Mr. Brown?" I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "You got to be hungry." I said, "What do you mean by that?" He said, "People that are hungry are willing to do the things today others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. People that are hungry are willing to invest in themselves. People that are hungry will go to seminars and workshops. People that are hungry are always searching, always seeking higher ground." So how do you want to make it? I said, "I want to be a disc jockey." He says, "Good. Here's what to do." He said, "I want you to read 10 to 15 pages of something positive every day." He said, "You don't get in life what you want, you get in life what you are. You must program yourself to success." He said, "I want you to listen to Earl Nightingale and Zig Ziglar. Listen, faith comes by hearing and hearing and hearing." He said, "I want you to change your relationships, and I don't want you to ever lose your hunger." I said, "What do you mean by that?" He said, "People that are hungry are unstoppable. People that are hungry are no matter what people. They make it happen no matter what." He said, "I want you to listen to Paul Harvey." Who is he? He's the world's greatest communicator. Success leaves clues, young man. Always listen and follow people who are doing what it is you want to do at the level you want to do it and learn from them.
But if you just give me your normal pitch, here's the package, here's the money, here's what you can make, that gets average, ordinary people to say yes. You must express outwardly what you're looking for when you're recruiting. Does that make sense to everybody? Say yes to that. You combine an evangelical message, being a great storyteller, and starting to express exactly what you're looking for and visualize that person. Are they a man or are they a woman? Are they short or are they tall? Are they minority or are they not? Do they have a military athletic background? What are you looking for? Not just people. You'll begin to attract to your organization the very people you look for if you're specifically looking for them. Make sense? Yes or no? Don't you want that person who's like, "I don't even have to call this dude. I don't don't even call him. He's out there before me. I remember the first time my best guy ever made millions of dollars. I remember the first time we had a meeting and he picked up the chairs after the meeting. It was just a little thing. I was like, the meeting was over and I always was the guy who folded all the chairs afterwards. I'll never forget his name's Dan Charlier, the dude that I talked about in his wedding. And he was a former drill instructor in the Marine Corps, carried the colors at the White House. He's a stud. Anyway, this dude picked up all the chairs after. I was like, I've been here 5 years. No one's ever picked up those chairs. I might have a one more multiplier. Turns out I did. And I had about 8 of him within about a year. And it made my organization go from a good company to a movement, to a cause, because I got one more multiplier. A couple more things I want to share. This is good stuff, by the way. I hope we got a recording of this. I think I want this one. All right, so a couple more things really quick because I'm limited on time. I want to tell you a story about Ed Mylett, not me, my old man. So there's 3 Ed Myletts. I'm Edward III. I have a grandfather, my dad just died just a few weeks ago. My dad fought cancer for about 9 years. Growing up, my dad was alcoholic and would be gone. And it was a great, everything happens for you, not to you. The reason I have an ability to read people and to be present with them and to transfer energy with them is because when I was a 4-year-old boy with 3 little sisters, I had to read which dad was coming through the front. Is this happy, sober dad who wants to play catch? Or is this drunk dad? By the way, I got so good at it, I could tell by how the keys hit the lock which dad was coming through. And then I knew how to change his energy. Little 4-year-old little me. So these things that happen to you in life are all blessed, even when they're horrible. I don't speak to you right now if my dad's not alcoholic. I can't give you that energy that you felt if my dad didn't drink. I can't read you if my dad didn't drink. In fact, my career changed because my dad got sober, got me a job at his AA meeting because I was unemployed at an orphanage, and that orphanage changed my life because now I'm serving people first time in my life, and now I've been serving people the rest. So it's crazy. My dad got me this job. My dad gets sober. I'm living at home on his couch. He goes, I got you a job. I'm sick of you eating out of the fridge. I'm like, I got a college degree. What exactly is this job? He's like, you don't get to choose, dude. You're going tomorrow morning. And it was called McKinley Home for Boys. It's an orphanage. I walk into Cottage 8. It's 8 to 10-year-old boys. My boys were all either molested by their family, dad's incarcerated, or they're dead. And I became their father. I took them trick-or-treating. I was there Christmas Day. At 22 years old, that was my job. It changed my life because I went from being this ego-driven athlete to serving people. And I could connect with them because I had a dysfunct family, right? And all these boys wanted was someone to love them, believe in them, care about them, show them how to live better. You know what I do for a living now? I love people, I believe in them, I care about them, I show them how to live better. Every human being is just like my little boy. All the people that work for you, they want you to love them, care them, believe in them, show them how to live better. That's all everybody ever you meet wants. Love me, man, care about me, believe in me, show me how to do a little better. Business or life, that's all they ever want.
What are you so afraid of? Why would you not take that leap, go for it before you mess around and die? Why would you not go and see what God really got for you before you leave this world? Why would you hang on to a job? Here's what happens, y'all. If you live in paycheck to paycheck right now, when you retire, they're going to give you 1/3 of what you can't live on now. They're going to give you a gold watch and a turkey, and they're going to set you on out to pass. If I was you, before I leave this world, I go see what God really got for me. Just take a chance. Now, here's why you should take the chance. Name me one time God has not pulled you through. Just name it. Name the one thing God has never pulled you through. If he ain't pulled you through it, he's currently pulling you through it right now. And the reason I know I'm telling the truth is because you're sitting in here. If God was through with you, he wouldn't wake you up no more. When he wakes you up, it's because he ain't through with you yet. He got something else for you. So why don't you go see what that is? Look, it's mostly black people in here. Why we keep living our lives like we still slaves? Why we got to live our lives like we owe them something? Man, you owe yourself something. Go be free. Go see what God got for you. Oh, Steve, that's easy for you to say. You rich. Hell, did you hear me? I lived in a car for 3 years. On October 8th, I won $50. October 9th, I quit. How big a jump you want to take? You ain't even got to do it. A lot of y'all got savings. You may not have 3 years up, but you only need a little bit. Just jump. Go see what God got for you. Quit sitting here in your life posturing like it's okay. Quit funking the fake. Quit faking the funk. Quit got people thinking you something you ain't, man, when you really know you won't be something else. Can I just say that to a room full of black people? Dog, I get tired. I was speaking at Villanova last year. I had to stand up and pull myself together. I couldn't wait to come here. I couldn't wait to come here so I could just be my natural black self. I just get tired. You know, look, I'm a host of Little Big Shots and Kids and Family Feud. I got a talk show. Let me tell you something, dog. I got 6 TV shows on the air right now, and all 6 of them is #1 in their time slot. Cause of God. Now, with that said, do you know how I have to be the majority of my life? Something for somebody else. This is the first room I've been in where I ain't got beat at. You know, I talk just like this here. I don't have no big words. I'm just telling you just like it is. You ain't got to believe me, but you can look at me. I'm telling you, it's proof in this here now that the God you serve really will give you what you ask for. He will. I'm not your preacher. I'm a hood dude that done messed around with no education. The mess around got to the top of the TV world, balling out of control. And I'm telling you, I was homeless and lived in a car, and I ain't got no education. Now y'all in here got degrees. I see it on your forehead. I can tell by the way you're listening to me. You know how to listen. You know. Oh my God, this Negro's humorous. I see it on you. I feel when I'm around educated people. I know you know how to study it and math. I can look at you and I'm so proud of you. But hey man, the next level, go make yourself some money. You ain't got to make $1 million, but 300,000 nice. 300,000 nice, though. You done something that so many people never do. I ain't got one. You graduating from college. I ain't do that. I ain't graduate from college. I got no formal education. But look at me though. I'm finna teach you something now. I'm finna show you something. See, now a large part of this speech is gonna be done using improper grammar, cause I don't have that either. I ain't never really talked that good. Ain't really my thing. If you in here and you well spoken, I commend you, and you gonna need that. In a lot of places you going, you can't be a doctor and talk like this here. You're not gonna, you're not. You can't be a professor, a teacher. You can't be in the society that a lot of y'all trying to get in. See, they've been trying to change me for a long time. When I first got on TV, me and Said the Entertainer was on the Steve Harvey show, and they hired, I don't even know what they call it, this lady, white lady, came in, and she was a linguist, and she was a linguist coach, whatever. And when she came in the room, I was confused. Me and Said was sitting there because she didn't have no pots with her or nothing, because I thought that was pasta. So when she came in there with the linguistics, whatever, I thought it was a cooking class for pasta. So me and Said sitting there looking just as crazy. And the lady started telling me that they've decided that you need to speak more properly. You need to learn how to enunciate your word. I stopped her. I said, do you mean pronunciate? That lady looked so confused. This is a true story. And she said, no, Mr. Harvey, if you hope to one day be in millions of homes across America, you're going to have to be more verbally communicative and more understood. I said, that ain't how I do it. She looked so confused. She said, you're going to have to change the way you sound. I said, let me ask you something. Which one of these sound better to you? I am broke or I'm is rich? That lady's shaking her head. It's all right. When you leave here, young people, my message is really for everybody in this building. I want to challenge you to something today. See, I don't know what the theme of your graduation is. You know, you go to these places and they have fire and spirit. They have a theme of excellence is worth excelling. I don't know what your theme is. I didn't ask nobody. You know, they might have emailed it to me, but I got 2,500 unread emails in my email box right now. But I want to challenge you something. What you've done up until now has been an amazing accomplishment. I take my hat off to you. What you've accomplished shouldn't be played short. And you have so far to this point become successful. But I'm challenging everybody in this graduating class. See, being successful is what everybody wants. Everybody I know want to be two things. They want to be happy and they want to be successful. But I'm going to challenge you today. I want you to go a little bit past successful. I want somebody in here to go up out of here and be great. There is a difference, you know. There is a difference between success and greatness. Success, you get your degree, that's successful. You get a job, that's successful. You raise a family, that's successful. So far, the success you have has been for yourself. You're successful. Congratulations. But you didn't get this piece of success by yourself. You see these people wrap around this building? You think you proud. Lord have mercy. There's some people up there got their chest stuck out so far. You have to understand the sacrifice that these people in here then put so you can be right there, so you can be successful. Some of y'all first-time graduates in your family, first time ever going to college in your family. Some of y'all trying to continue a legacy of people around here that have been to college and want their kids to graduate too. Whatever the case though, people up in here, man, sacrifice for you to get here so you could be successful. You went to college to become successful. But I'm gonna ask you something. I need 30 of y'all to go out of here and be great. I need just 30 to go be great. You know, there's a difference, you know. Success is for yourself. You know, they told me one, they said, man, you know, basketball player get a big contract. He's successful. Great. No. He ain't great. He's successful. You make $100,000 a year. You ain't great. You successful. I want you to great. I want you to go out of here and be great. You know the difference between great and success? Great people change other people's lives. Great people put other people in front of them. Great people go back to their communities and change lives. Great people buy a big house up on the hill and then teach other people how to get up on the hill too. That's what great people do. Gandhi was great. Muhammad Ali was great. Martin Luther King was great. They was great. They made other people great. Muhammad Ali said, I said I was the greatest before I was the greatest. You got to claim greatness, man, or you can just be successful. Go on, get your job. Go on and make your money. But man, you change somebody's life, you can be great. We need somebody from ASU to go up out of here and become great. Be a life changer. Change some boys' lives, some girls' lives. Show somebody how you got a college degree. That's the beginning of greatness.
Just keep a journal, right? If I was here, I had my journal, I'd be taking notes, right? These 2 days in my journal. Now, if you're caught without your journal, you just take the notes. When you get back home, you put those notes in your journal, throw the paper away. Because we don't usually go through paper to review. But see, my journals now make up a significant part of my own library. My journal's all reserved privately for my children and my grandchildren. Can you imagine what I've collected over the years? It's unbelievable. There are 3 treasures to leave behind. Here they are. Number 1, your pictures. Don't leave the event unrecorded. It takes only a fraction of a second to say, here's who I was with. When I travel the world, we take all these pictures. And here's one of the gifts. People send me the pictures they took of me and them. It's part of the treasures I have on the farm. Incredible. A picture's worth 1,000 words to describe the scene, the emotion, what happened. Say, wow, this was an extraordinary day for me when I met these people. Here's what they told me happened to them when they went to my seminar 10 years ago. Wow, the drama comes back if you've taken the pictures. It's one of the treasures to leave behind when you go. Remember the old photographs that we have now of, 100 years ago, 70, 80 years ago, just a few photographs? What would it be like if you had thousands of photographs of the past, of your history, your mother, your father, right? Grandparents? So change all of that now for your children. Leave all your photographs as a record. Here's what's next to leave behind, and that's your library. The books that changed your life, the books that changed your health, the books that rescued you from oblivion, the books that you passed on to other people. They were so exciting for you. The books that made you financially independent, the books that developed your leadership, the books that gave you wisdom to ponder when things were tough, the books that got you through the winter, the books that helped you to plant in the spring and harvest in the fall. Don't let too much time pass without staying in touch. If we probably took a survey right now, here are the 20 most important people in my life. How long has it been since I sat down with this one or called this one or wrote a letter to this one? We'd probably say, wow, the man is right. Just that little comment, making a list of 20 and saying how long has it been, I can see where for some of them it's been too long. That are considered very close friends. We just have to pay more attention. And I just now thought about that. Make a list of 20 and say, how long has it been? We try to think of it. We make a phone call. We say, wow, it's been too long. Got to have lunch. We got to get together. And some that may live in your own community where it's a little easier to stay in touch. But, some of our friends are not close by. Staying in touch is just a vitally important part of developing a good relationship. Take care of those things that matter. What doesn't matter to you, say if nobody calls me on my birthday, that doesn't matter. But for someone else, it does matter. So you just make sure that gets done. Those kind of things. It's easy, especially in a busy society. And like myself, getting on an airplane, flying off to some other country and be so busy doing that and the preparation for doing it and then recovering when you get home, it's easy to let things slide. But we always later have some regrets that we didn't stay in touch more often, especially somebody older that passes, right? We say, wow, I should have made more phone calls and stayed in touch. But whatever it takes to keep a good relationship going. It's like tending a garden. You can't let it go too long without tending the things that matter, making sure it flourishes, something well nourished, which is true of all of our values. We must protect them like a father, nourish them like a mother to make sure they give us full value. And then be of full value to someone, not that you have to be around all the time, but to be available. There's an ancient phrase, here's what it says: if you try to save your life, you will lose it. But if you will lose your life, meaning if you will invest your life, that's the best way to save it and to multiply it many times over. So here's the phrase, investing life into life has the potential of creating miracles. Investing life into life. Investing life into life creates a new baby. But investing life into life with ideas, information, association, influence can create enterprise, can create a corporation, can create a business, can create a movement, can create something that benefits many more people than just those few that might have invested in each other's lives. So that should be one of your goals, is to be valuable enough to invest in somebody else's life, starting first if you're married with your children, and then invest in each other.
Marriage and friendship, these associations are a chance to invest in each other, a business enterprise.
Here's another way to succeed by listening. Choose a really successful person and take him or her out to dinner and listen. Ask questions and listen. If a man is poor, he can really help himself by taking a rich person out to dinner and listening. Spend $50, $60, $80, or $100. Go for the full 9 courses. Start with the hors d'oeuvres. Ask questions. The salad takes 15 minutes. Keep the conversation going. The biggest steak in town takes 45 minutes. Keep it rolling. Ask more questions. Pour on the dessert. Stretch the meal about 2 hours. See, if you get someone successful to eat and talk for 2 hours, he or she may drop ideas in your lap that could change your life. Multiply your income by 2, by 3, by 5. But you're right. Poor people don't usually take rich people out to dinner. That's the problem. The man says if he's rich, let him buy his own dinner. I'm not coming up with any money. And besides, if you worked where I work, by the time you struggle home, it's late. You've got to have a bite to eat, watch a little TV, and get to bed. You can't spend all that time trying to find a rich man to feed. And this man's behind on his installment payment. Behind. He's a good worker, hard worker, sincere. But remember, you can work hard and be sincere all your life and wind up broke and unhappy. You've got to be better than a good worker. You've got to be a good listener. The third way to learn from others is to observe. Watch what successful people do. Here's why. Success leaves clues. Watch how the man shakes hands. Spend the money and time and the effort. They're all investments, time, effort, and money. But the payoff is so great, it's hard to compare the cost to the reward. First is the money, and it does take some money. I have a great suggestion for the cassettes and the books and the lectures, the seminars, and the videos you need for a constant flow of ideas and inspiration. Set up an educational fund. Take a portion of your income each month and set it aside to invest in all the means of the search for knowledge. Remember, the best money spent is the money spent to cultivate the genius of your own mind and spirit. Make sure you don't spend more for accommodation than you do for education. The money, small price. The promise, unlimited potential. Next is the time. That is a valuable expenditure. I understand that. To ask people for their money, that's one thing, but to ask them for their time, that's a major request. But I don't know any shortcuts to this. It takes time, precious time. The time you spend is that much less time you have to spend. You can get more money, but you can't get more time. However, life has a unique way of rewarding high investment with high return. This major investment you're making now, listening, could be that small fine-tuning you need for major accomplishment. And last, the investment in effort. There is a great deal of difference in casual listening and serious listening. Listening to know, listening to learn, listening that opens up the whole mental and spiritual process is truly an investment in effort. Bringing heavy attention to bear, that takes effort. A mental rifle shot to strike the idea target, that takes a great deal of concentrated effort. However, this effort, high-gear mental machinery, is the effort investment that opens the floodgates where ideas can work their magic for you in the marketplace.
I'm gonna make a statement. I don't know how it's gonna fly in the room. Here I go. Education is not the most important thing in your life. It's not. I spoke at a school one time and I said that the principal of the school came up and had me removed from the stage. I was just trying to help his students. Education is not the most important thing. Do you know how many people I know with education that ain't working? You know how many people I know with degrees ain't got no job? Do you know how many people I know with multiple degrees ain't making no money? The single most important thing in your life is your dream. It's your dream. It's what you dream about. It's in your Bible. It says a man without a dream or vision shall perish. It don't mention education in the Bible. The University of Jamaica is not in the Bible. Harvard is not in the Bible. The Bible says a man without a dream or vision shall perish. If you got no dream, if you got no vision, you're sunk. You're done. I'm sorry. I'm just giving you the basics of how to be successful. This is how I got here. 1968, came off school off of a summer vacation. I'm 10 years old. The assignment the teacher had was everybody in the school class, write your name on a piece of paper and what you want to be when you grow up. I wrote on my paper, I want to be on TV. That's what I wrote. That lady said, turn in your paper. She went around the room, called everybody's name up. You had to stand while she read your paper. She read off everybody's name. She saved me for last. She said, little Stevie, come to the front. I'm thinking, okay, this is it. I ain't never had a gold star in school in my life. I've never been recognized for academic achievements in my life. I've never got an award of any kind in my life. Here I come, little Stevie coming to the front. But I was poor. I had to wear my my brother closed school because I didn't have a comfortable beginning. I wasn't weaned. Steve Harvey's coming to the front. I got a belt that's too big, it's tied around me twice. I'm skinny and I'm heading to the front. I walk like, they used to call me Tater Chip in school because I was shaped like a potato chip. And I walked up there and I'm standing in front of class. Now I told you a minute ago I had a severe stuttering problem. I could not talk outside of my house. I stuttered severely. I thought this woman was going to give me a gold star because I figured nobody else in the class had wrote I want to be on TV but me. So mine must be the best answer of all of them. So I'm standing up there and that lady started in on me. She didn't call me up there to give me no gold star. She called me to the front to humiliate, and that lady did. She said, why did you put something like this on your paper? Now, you've called me to the front. You know I have a stutter problem. You know I can't talk. So she started, why did you write this on your paper? Who in your family ever been on TV? Who in this school ever been on TV? Who in this neighborhood has ever been on television? She said, why would you write something like that on your paper? And look at you standing there, you can't even talk. I was crushed. Why would you write that on your paper? You can't even talk. This is a teacher. You're supposed to be shaping and molding my mind. We pay you to educate. Why would you write something like that on your paper? You'll never be on TV. Every Christmas, I send her a flat screen TV.
Jesus in my text tonight is teaching us the kingdom of heaven is lacking. The kingdom of heaven is like. It's not this, but it's like this. He's using something that you can understand to explain something that is beyond human reasoning. The kingdom of heaven is likened unto a master, he says, who called his servants and gave them. Now, I want you to catch this. You have the master and the servant. And if you read that with your Australian mind or your American mind or wherever you came from, if you read it through the lens of that mind in the society in which you have been raised, in which you have been developed, or in which you have been extrapolated, you will miss the power of these words because you've got the master, and one translation says the master and the slave, and the master and the slave are worlds apart. Trust me, those are not the same things at all. Jesus existed in an environment where most of the societies in which he lived during his era were in a caste system. It was not a democracy. A caste system suggests whatever status of life you are born in, you belong there. So if you were born a slave, then you stayed a slave. If you were born a master, you stayed a master. If you were born poor, you stayed poor. If you were born wealthy, you stayed wretched. There was no feeling of responsibility to raise one person up into another status of life. It is a caste system, the haves and the have-nots, the ins and the out, the master and the slave, the rich and the poor, and never the twain shall meet. So the whole notion that this master who owns the slave is getting ready to go on a trip, and he doesn't give it to his children, he doesn't give talents to his heirs, he bypasses his neighbors and gives it to a slave, is shocking. You don't give your master stuff to a slave. That's crazy. That's awesome. That's mind-boggling. The slave has been gifted with master stuff. He didn't earn it. He didn't work for it. He didn't labor to get it. He has been gifted. God wants you to understand, as far as the master is from the slave, that's how far we are from God.